Well, hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria, the soul nurturer. It feels good to just sit down, to be present to myself and present to you on this beautiful Friday afternoon here in Washington State. I'm curious to know where you are all watching from. Those of you who are watching, I love it if you would comment where are you at currently. But maybe you want to watch this video and comment also about what your takeaways are. Okay, so I'm excited because I got 2 requests for the same topic. So the topic, and it's so perfect because we are in Libra season, and we just had the autumn equinox, and it is my anniversary month for my relationship. So the topic request was to talk about healthy relationships, which I'm delighted to do. I think that I often say my greatest success in life is in overcoming, I don't want to say overcoming, but that could apply, but having to reconstruct my relationship file in my subconscious mind for me to be able to have a healthy relationship. Okay, so I want to talk about quickly about relationships. It's a topic that comes up a lot in my sessions. I've coached a lot of people in getting into healthy relationships, and of course, it all begins with us. So the inner work, the soul work, is focused on cultivating a healthy relationship with self. And I have a lot of methods to do that, to illuminate in each client, to show those blind spots of where they're missing, seeing what's in the way of that beautiful relationship. So let's dive in, shall we? First of all, I want to say another perfect timing for this conversation is that we have five, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 major planets in retrograde right now, and Mercury is going in retrograde on the 27th, and so it's a perfect time to talk about relationships, but also with the retrograde energy to review, reassess, reestablish, reset, restore, all those RE words. Perfect time in Libra season, which is all about love. Libra is ruled by Venus, and it is the sign that's all about balance and harmony and peace. So we're not talking just about relationships, or I'm not going to just talk about relationships with others, or with intimate relationships, but relationships with others, our collective, right? And I feel grateful for Libra season because I feel we do really need, although we have a lot more turbulent transformational energy to move through together, but perhaps this Libra energy of the peacekeeper, the mediator, the one who wants to find balance and harmony will help us all do that in the collective. But first, it begins within, right? Okay, so I want to tell you, often I get a lot of questions about relationships, and I also get a lot of reflections about my relationship. They seem to reflect what a wonderful relationship we have, and how wonderfully matched we are, and that oftentimes people say, I want a relationship like yours. So I always think, well, if they knew the whole story, maybe that would help. So the whole story is that my husband now of 2 years, we have had a relationship for nearly 20 years with 2 major stops and restarts. So why stops and restarts? Because there was more healing we both needed to do. And then when we finally came together and were able to more deeply commit, we also kept a commitment of doing our inner work. So the relationship that we have with others is a mirror of what's going on inside of us. Oftentimes people want to fix their partner. Oftentimes people want to find the perfect partner, or they're dissatisfied, or their patterns are active in their relationship desires. Okay, what patterns would be activated? Well, where you first learned about love is what you're most familiar with, and that's what you're going to be calling in and experiencing until you wake up out of your conditioning and reclaim the potential of what love, ideal love for you, healthy relationship for you. And this takes a lot of effort. So unless you do your inner work or your soul work, and I'll make the distinction, inner work is working with the unconscious, the subconscious material, the conditioned person you became to survive, to adapt, to fit in. Soul work is more connecting to the essence of who you are, reclaiming from there. It's like, oh yeah, we all know on some level who we truly are. Our dream work helps us connect to our essence, and also shows us where we're far from our essence when we're in our conditioned self. All kinds of different ways. Dream work, astrology, that's why I love to look at it. I call them a soul chart. We can see the essence and the untapped potential, and also the challenges that come with every single journey. All of us, every single person has a sort of challenge to go along with cultivating the potential in life. So how do we learn about relationships? From our primary caregivers. Typically, our first love is our opposite sex parent, or our mothers, or our fathers, but both of them compile relationships because we're looking at what they're doing in relationship. So I want to say this, we don't blame our parents. Parents do the best they can with the conditioning that they've been given, the programming they've been given, with the hand-me-down beliefs and patterns and way of seeing and being that they were given. So there's no blaming parents here, okay? It's always 100% responsibility for our own journeys. But, so I'm going to go ahead and be really transparent and share a bit about my journey and how I had to reconstruct healthy relationships. So the love of my life, my dad, left when I was born. I didn't get to witness a healthy relationship. I didn't get to see my mom in a healthy relationship. And I had to deal with a lot of abandonment. So what's my first imprint to love? Well, they're not around. There's like abandonment, right? Neglect. My mom was a very compassionate person, but she was a single mom and she was not very present. So relationships for me, I would attract often men who were very non-committal, who were very unavailable, who would abandon me, who would neglect me. And so I could have been stuck there forever saying, well, they need to do this and they need to heal. No. I needed to heal that original wound, and I needed to reprogram what healthy relationships look like. This is the work. This is the inner work, and reclaiming soul essence, knowing, who I truly am and what I truly needed in a relationship. So a lot of repair and restoration in that. So here's how it looks. We tend to attract in those partners who are familiar to our subconscious programming, or I like to say the love file. We have all these files in our minds and various topics and ways of being and doing life, from food to relationship to money to success, all of that. So these files have references about what we learned, what was modeled to us, what we experienced about the particular topic. So now we're talking about relationships. So my love file is pretty vacant. I didn't have a lot of healthy relationship references. So I had to reconstruct from the ground up. So you're going to draw in, unless you've done this inner work or connected to your essence and reset, you're most likely going to draw in familiar energy, familiar to where you were both wounded and where you both felt the source of your love was, okay? And this is tricky because it's super unconscious stuff. We can unconsciously be attracted to somebody across the room who has that, who's mirroring our love wounds, right? So, and that's not a terrible thing, as long as you're doing your own self-care, your self-awareness, your self-work. And when you're super attracted to somebody, to ask, where is this familiar? Now, I always say, a big part of waking up and healing out of relationships that are dysfunctional and challenging is to first get clear on what a healthy relationship looks like for you and what you desire, right? Here's the big clue. It's usually what you're giving to your partner or to your friends. The thing you give away is the thing you desire. So healing in that level of the subconscious mind to get familiar in the subconscious mind, in your love file, this is what healthy relationships look like. Many people, when I ask them, what does a healthy relationship look like? They go, like there's a long pause. They're not even sure. Well, if your conscious mind can bring to light or even share, oh, it would be this, and that, your subconscious mind probably doesn't have enough reference at all to support you, okay? So a way to get from what you don't know about what you want is to look at what you do know about what you don't want. Well, that was kind of tricky. So what you don't want, I could ask you what's not working. What is an unhealthy relationship? What are the indicators of an unhealthy relationship? And you would probably have a long list. So we want more information about what we want instead of what we don't want. Just bounce off that. What's the opposite? Say unhealthy relationship is, for me, was unavailable. What's the healthy part of the relationship on the opposite of that? Available, present, right? Okay. So, or neglect is unhealthy, a neglectful partner, okay? What's the opposite of that? That would be healthy, considerate, attentive, right? So you want to identify those familiar patterns, yes, again, not blaming parents. Dad wasn't available. I tended to draw in a lot of relationships, not only intimate relationships, but friends and work environments that mirrored that. That was like I often say I'm a lone wolf. Well, that's me adapting into that, but it also oftentimes where we're wounded is when we look closer and do healing work, it is supporting the essence of who we are. So I actually like being on my own, but not from a wounded place, but from an empowered place. Okay, so this is a time for all of you. I want to invite all of you to maybe journal this question. What did you learn about relationships witnessing your parents? And then the next question, what did you learn about yourself in relationship with your parents? Like, what did you believe about yourself in relationship to your parents? Because here's the next key. What you learned about relationships watching your parents or caregivers, or what you inferred or interpreted from how they were or weren't with you, created, here, I wish I had a drum roll please, the relationship you're having with yourself. So that relationship with self, here comes my neighbor mowing, always with my videos, it's so funny. Relationship to self is key to everything. The healthier relationship with self, the healthier relationship you're going to call in. But while you're in a relationship, whenever I have a client that comes to me and they want to talk about their partner, I always say, I'll give you about 5 minutes. You can talk about your partner. But I want to know how your partner is, what it opens up in you, and what you're wanting that you're not getting, and what you're believing about yourself that is being reinforced in this relationship. And that is where we'll work. And then you can tell me about your partner another time, okay? So the healthy relationship, and this is why Libra season is so powerful to do this right now. To balance, we learn from our parents. We have our first reference to healthy, or I don't want to say healthy, to masculine and feminine. And please don't misconstrue that I'm saying masculine man, feminine woman. But, the majority of us had a mother and a father, but there's the masculine energy and the feminine energy, or if it works better for you, the yin and the yang, the feminine yang, and the the masculine yang. Okay. So this time right now is a time to look at this relationship to self. Where are you out of balance? I just got out of my dream group that I am just loving. I finally created a dream group that really works for me with some powerful women. I tell them, you're my dream group. And we worked one of my dreams, and this theme keeps coming from me, and it keeps coming from my clients. Just worked with someone the other day on this, that we need the balance, whether you're a woman or a man, a balance between the feminine and masculine, healthy feminine, healthy masculine, healthy yin, healthy yang. Okay? Because until we've balanced, until we've created the healthy relationship in ourselves, we're always going to be pulled into these scenarios. And we always will. I mean, there's no there with this. Healing relationship stuff is a continuum. So number one on your list for a healthy relationship is someone willing to do their own work. Because if you don't have someone willing to do their own inner work, their shadow work, their soul work, really looking at their blind spots, you'll be carrying them. I had a teacher once say to me, I was in a spiritual training program, and I was really hooked in that spiritual place where we can get hooked. Like, I'm a spiritual, compassionate person, so I'm just going to love this person into their highest and greatest yet to be. Sounds a lot like codependency, doesn't it? Right? But I was so in my spiritual work, and I could see potential, and I still do see potential in people. That's part of my gifting in my work. But I work with people who want to reclaim it and do their own work, right? So where was I going with this? Oh, yes. So I was in a partnership that was very, very toxic, very unhealthy, and I would even say abusive. But I was so committed to being the compassionate, healing partner. And this teacher said to me, I know you have a desire to really go far with your spiritual practice and your goals in life, and to be, at the time I wanted to be a spiritual practitioner, possibly a minister. And she said this to me: how far do you think you'll go carrying someone on your back? And I was like, whoa, what? And she was right. I was carrying this person on my back, like, okay, we're going to have a healthy relationship together, spoon feeding this person spiritual principles and all the stuff that was feeding me. But this person didn't want anything to do with that. So I had to put him down and let him have his own journey and continue mine. And so whether you're in a relationship or not, there's always something to harvest about healthy relationships. When you're in a relationship, it comes every day, because you're interacting with someone who's going to show you your blind spots. Now remember, we want to balance ourselves. We want to heal ourselves. We want to have a healthy relationship with ourselves. So letting the partner off the hook. I know this is a tricky concept. I mean, of course, if there's any abuse or violence, no, take action, get yourself safe. What I'm saying is, if you're in a relationship that, you love this person, but it's not quite working, before you exit, go in and see what you can heal within yourself. Or sometimes exiting a relationship gives you the perspective you need to see yourself more and to see what the relationship offered you in seeing yourself. My invitation to you in this conversation about relationships is to look more deeply at yourself. Everything that's happening around you and to you is for you, for your unfolding, for your reclaiming of your soul potential and essence, for your evolving to the next level of possibilities, whatever your focus is, relationship, career, whatever. This happened to be, oftentimes I will be really honest, I have a drop in my spirit when I start to compare myself to the external world, and in terms of success, feeling not very successful. I haven't achieved a lot of monetary success, say, or or prominence in my career. Although I have a pretty great reputation for what I do in my small community, and I have served and helped a lot of people, and I feel good about that. However, if I look at the money and the accomplishment thing, not so strong. Why? I put my focus on, I wanted a healthy relationship. And for me, that is a great success. I didn't see one as I was a child. I didn't have them for many years. I had to completely reconstruct and constantly now tweak my relationship so we can get even better together, grow even more. And that's a powerful, for me, success. And I'm grateful every day for my partner, for my husband. We've had a very interesting, challenging journey, but there was always love and always commitment and always a desire individually to rise to our best and heal so that we could have the best relationship. And it's continuing. So I encourage you during this time, it's time to reflect on your relationships. What did you learn about relationships from your parents? How is the relationship with yourself? All the things you say you want from a partner, how are you doing with that with yourself? You know, if you feel like somebody is not present to you, are you present to yourself? If you feel they're not being accepting and loving and present, are you offering all those things to yourself? Well, I'm giving you a lot here. This is a good place to start. I can go on and on about this topic, but it's a time to review, especially when Mercury goes into retrograde on the 27th. We're already moving into that. You might already feel that. And in fact, I lost my meditation bowl. I was going to drop us into a little meditation at the beginning, but I lost the bowl, so I'll probably find it during retrograde. So let me know if you have any questions about this. I hope that it helps you consider these concepts of cultivating a healthy relationship within yourself, the balance of healthy feminine, healthy masculine, or healthy yin and healthy yang, that allows you to bring the fullness of your being and wholeness and unique and beautiful potential out into the world to serve the collective unfolding. All right, thanks for being with me. Comment with any questions you have or any takeaways. What did I say? Is there anything I said that really rang true for you? And if I can be of support, reach out to me. You can go to victoriajazwick.com and put in a request for a consultation or a session or a soul chart review where I look at your chart and we take a look at your unique potential, what's in the way of that potential, and ways that you can reclaim your beautiful soul essence and then nurture that soul essence forward. All right, subscribe if you haven't, like and comment, share if you feel called to, and I'll be with you next time, probably to talk about the new moon. Take good care. Thanks for your presence and your willingness to show up here with me. See you next time. Bye.